Hey folks, Keough with some more training footage for you. This is from my Sunday deadlift session, and you're going to see me do some work with 500 pounds, and then you're going to see me do some lighter sets. And the top set that I did on this day was 500 for a set of 7, which is what you're seeing right here. Was able to do these reps pretty quickly. I was able to do them in about a minute and 15 seconds, a minute and 10 seconds, somewhere in that range. And so my pace was pretty good. I actually set a faster pace than I usually do on these sorts of cluster sets. I was taking less time in between my reps. Last week, 475 for 13 took me about 3.5 minutes. 500 for 7 took me a minute and around 10 seconds. And so I kept a much faster pace on this set. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. The reason, or the biggest reason why I kept a fast pace and the biggest reason why I stopped at 7 reps on this day was that I started to shit myself as early as the second rep. And there are occasions, rare occasions, in which I will work through that in order to get a certain number. I didn't feel like it was necessary to do so on this day. I decided I would just shut it down after 7 reps. I was, again, setting a fast pace, and I felt pretty fatigued by the 7th rep. So I decided I'd come back and I'd do a longer set. I did 500 for 6 after that. I was pretty spent going into this set after the last one, but I wanted to accumulate at least another higher rep set with 500 pounds. And so overall, I was fairly happy with my performance on this day. My deadlift did not feel spectacular. I felt like I hadn't quite recovered from the previous week, which is to be expected because that was my first really difficult deadlift training session for the last few weeks prior, because the week before I had done my meet. The week before that I had done sort of like a semi-deload session in preparation for my meet. So it had been a few weeks since I had done, 3 weeks exactly, since I had done a really difficult, strenuous deadlift session. So with that in mind, I was fairly happy, not thrilled, but fairly happy with my performance on deadlift on this day. I felt like if I took more time, spent a good 3.5 minutes on that first top set, I could have maybe managed 500 for a set of 10, which would have been great. But this is still progress. My best before this was 500 for 5, so I'm making good progress. Again, I didn't feel great, but in my opinion, because of the volume that I am attaching to my deadlift training now, as long as I can minimize the damage on the days in which I don't feel great, as long as I can continue to go in and have solid sessions when I don't feel spectacular, I feel like my deadlift will improve. Not every day has to be a great day. This session was okay. I didn't feel like I hit any spectacular numbers. I didn't feel great, but I put together some good sets. I hit some good reps. And as you're seeing right here, I did 3 sets after my work with 500, in which I basically just took 365 and made it as difficult as possible, pulling for sets of 8. I tried to keep the repetitions themselves closely clustered together, so I tried not to take time in between the reps. I'm also breaking the bar very slowly off the floor. Not only am I taking the slack out of the bar, but I'm making an effort to reduce my speed off the ground. And I know that sounds counterproductive, and under normal circumstances it is. You want to try and pull every rep as fast as possible. But in this instance, what I'm really trying to do is I'm really trying to decrease the extent to which I accelerate that bar off the floor in order to make my lockout more difficult. And I'm really focusing here on locking out strong, engaging my hips, engaging my glutes, flexing my glutes at the top of each individual repetition, and just really focusing here on taking what is, for me, a pretty easy weight, somewhere around 60%, 365, and making it feel as heavy as possible, and trying to really drill my lockout by working with this weight. It's a way in which you can continue to get stronger while using submax weight. That's what I'm trying to do on these sets, and I felt like I was pretty successful with it. It's something that I've been doing for a while. I've been hammering my lockout with a lot of volume, and I'm going to continue to do so. These weights will go up, but for right now, slow speed off the ground, and I'm really just focusing on hitting my lockout hard because that's what I need in order to get stronger and pull north of 600. Keep checking in, more videos soon.